This is part 2 of my 18-hole playing video at Turnhouse Golf Club in Edinburgh. The reason I'm playing this golf course is because I really hate it. Not because it's a bad course, but because I play bad round it. Because you need to hit tee shots well, and that's typically not something that I do. If you've not watched part 1 of the video, I'll put a link to that up there. Have a little watch of it. To be honest, there was moments where I thought it was just going to be a 9-hole video because the toys were well and truly out the pram, and I thought about walking in. So I found the fairway on the 10th hole. I've got about 190 yards uphill into what's probably the hardest second shot into this course. I think this is stroke index 1, the hardest hole. So I'm basically hitting it right up into that small area you can see where those bushes are. And I've rifled a 4-iron right down it, but there's no way. I feel like it's getting up. One of the most difficult second shots. It's just narrow, uphill, tends to be miles. Like, had about 190 left in, kind of semi-blind second shot, and I hit 4-iron, but honestly I don't reckon it's up. So I managed to get the dance floor, but I am miles away from the band, as they say. The hole is a long way away. This is just a case of give this an absolute bash. It's breaking off the left, but you can see there's a little tear in the middle of the green. So just give this a dunt. Pretty much hit as hard as you ruddy well can, son. All things considered, that's not actually a bad effort, but it's just continues to be one of those leaves that you really don't enjoy having. So this is just off the left, trying to stay still over it, hit it on your line. Boom. A boring old par. That's where I live. I live over there. Hello, house. So the 11th hole is a 100-yard par 3. It's pretty much a nothing hole. I've heard it said a few times that it's almost like this course had 17 holes and then forgot that they needed 18 and just chucked one in here. Usually I'll hit a 52 degree, but I wasn't feeling it that day, so I tried to just dunt a pitching wedge. I actually landed in the middle of the green and ran on. So this is a really difficult putt down the hill, and I had a bit of a lapse in concentration because I seen that there was actually a guy behind me for the first time in ages, so I felt like I needed to rush a little bit. And I've just left it in the jaws, which is pretty criminal considering it was like 10 feet. Not ideal. I feel very hard done by it there. I wasn't really paying attention over the first putt, so that's a bit of a lapse in concentration, but I kind of felt like I got shafted with where it finished. Like, I thought I hit decent enough shot. If anything, I thought it was short, and it landed kind of middle of the green with a really like prominent pitch mark and ran on miles. The 12th hole is a 435-yard par 4, currently 1 over par. You can see my target on the right hand side. I've given myself a 60-yard wide grid, so I'm aiming pretty much just slap down the middle. And I've hit a bit of a hooky one again. I'm confused, I don't really know how to behave after that. I went to pick up a tee that wasn't there. 170 yards. I'm basically just trying to hit into the middle of those trees with a 7-iron. And that's actually right down it, but it doesn't look like it's up. It's funny how whenever you're struggling with a particular part of your game, you seem to just get it on repeat. So here I've got obviously another pace putt, trying to have it off the left, give it a good dig. Run out, run out, run out. Stopped about kind of 3 feet short. Managed to convert it again. 13th hole, 328-yard par 4. So this is off a very different tee. I picked a line on the middle left-hand side of the green, so I've actually just changed it. Aiming a little bit down the right, and because it's a tight driving hole, I've kind of got a bit nervy and wrapped one over. I walk my dog in there. It's like a country estate, it's quite nice. Try and find my golf balls from every time I play this hole. So I've got 125 yards in, a significant drop off on the left hand side of this green. I want to avoid that at all costs, so I'm aiming a good bit further right. So there's kind of a gap in the trees, between the trees on the right and kind of the sparse ones. Aiming at that. again, like I know it's just on repeat, another pace putt, giving that an absolute dig, and yet again comes up short. And yet again the hero prevails, converts his par. 14th hole is 349 yards, still 1 over par. You can see on the right hand side I've mapped it out. This is a really tight driving hole. I didn't actually realise that until I mapped this course, but that is 200 yards, that's only 40 yards wide. When you're playing this hole, for me I'd usually hit a 2 iron, but mapping it, it's actually a 4 iron, so I'm just trying to dunt it down there. Straight into the trees. Damage limitation here. Try to play the shot that I could pull off 9 times out of 10, so I'm just trying to back foot a little 4 iron and nudge it up around the green. You can see the gap right in front of me, basically that lone tree on its own. I'm just trying to go a slight bit right of that. That's actually way right of that, and I got lucky because that's clipped a tree. Managed to be just short of the green. So here I've got a little flick on, really maybe about kind of 20 yards, nothing too taxing. Pretty straightforward, especially off a mat, really no problem. Picked it up okay. Maybe a little bit shy. Maybe got about 10-12 feet here. Come on, you know it's slow, give it a dig. Oh, that was very close. That was so close. These greens, honestly, they're so slow. And every putt I keep telling myself, hit it harder, hit it harder, hit it harder. And I am. I know it probably doesn't look like I am, but I honestly am hitting them really hard. And they're just... 149 yard par 3, 2 over par. Pretty much just taking aim at the dead centre of this. It's uphill, hitting an 8 iron, and I did hit that quite well. Held out to the right a little bit, so again I've got a bit of a lengthy putt, and I'm running a little bit hot after the last hole, so this is going to get extra juice. And unfortunately when that happens, it's ran that awkward length past, so I've traded being short for being long. So again, I've had a load of these today, obviously getting quite good at them there. 16th hole, I've mapped it out. I'm basically going to be aiming at the right hand side of the green. There's a bunker. I'm off a different tee, so it's slightly far right, but again there's out of bounds all the way down the left on this hole, and like everything, whenever that's the case, I get very anxious and tend to wrap it a bit like that. Nose diving off to the left. Brutal golf shot. I think I've had 3 of those total rap handy slappy ones round to the left, plus it's actually getting quite dark. It's currently like 3:30, but this camera makes it look a bit lighter than it actually is. So I've got about 50 yards here, all downhill, which I did not take into account because I put my textbook TrackMan 50 yard swing on it, and you'll see it's landed exactly where I wanted to. I've not taken in any account of the fact that it's downhill and it's all running away from me, so it's ran to the very back of the green, giving me another lengthy putt. Loads of technically putts for birdies, but none of these are really ones you'd expect to hole. My God, it's nice to have a tap in. It's been a while. So this is the 17th. This is a monster par 3, 243 yards. It started to get really dark on the camera, so I know for a fact the Pro Tracer on this is dodgy because of it. I'm hitting a 2 iron, and I'm basically just praying to get it in the vicinity of the green because this is a monster par 3, and as I say, it was getting pretty dark. And there's that weird Pro Tracer that I did tell you about. Cue a paddy in 3, 2, 1. So So I found the bunker on the right hand side of the green, everything runs towards the hole, so I basically just needed to get it out the bunker and it was good. Clearing up for par again. I've lost count of the amount of times I've had a putt of this length, so really shouldn't be much to it, just like the other 95 you've had today. Well, this is the last hole. Last time I played this was in the southeast district. I was about a million over par and I eagled it, which was nice. Then I left, went home in a mood. Good guy, which is what I'll be doing today as well. Hallelujah, we made it to the last hole. It's a 479 yard par 5. This is a bit of a gift after the monster that is 17. So I'm basically just taking dead center aim right down the middle. Picked out a tree that I'm going to hit here, and I'm back to the 3-wood because I cannot put a driver in these mats. A little bit further forward anyway, so shouldn't be much of an issue. And I hit that one a bit bottom groovy, but it went straight, so I can definitely live with that. Left me about 200 yards in, so I've got a 5-iron in hand. Just try to aim it at that tree on the right hand side. You can see the kind of bushy one, and draw it in off that. So currently walking down the 18th. I'm not actually sure where my approach shot finished. I can't even see the green. I'm maybe like 50 yards away. I still can't see the green or a ball, so no idea. Yeah, but yeah, anyway, so let me know in the comments what you think of these types of videos where there's more golf and less chat. I know some people probably like that, but then some people probably like the chat. You can see how dark it's getting there. I've cranked the brightness up massively on the video and you can still see it's pretty dark. I can assure you it was a lot darker. So just missed the green on the right hand side, trying to just nudge this on with a 52, get it running at the hole. And I've hooded the face, I can see that on the way back, so that's why it's missed left. That's not ideal. I've got about 15 foot for birdie on the last hole. See if I can hole one eventually. Beautiful. What a day. Oy, yay. Right, well, thank you very much for watching if you watched all this. As per usual, I really appreciate it. And I'll see you again in another video at some point. Au revoir from my most hated golf club. Although I scored okay today, but doesn't count. Winter tees doesn't count. Bye bye.